Hello, 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 and welcome to the Western Front. And oh my God, what is that horrible noise? That's the John Kasich Cuck alarm. We haven't seen him since 2016. So you know he has to be desperate for attention, but thankfully he's a dignified politician. He would never use something like a tragedy or young children to further his political agenda or his political career. Let's see what he has to say real quick.
So much for joining me. You just heard those teenage survivors.
And that's exactly what he did. But thankfully, John's a well-reasoned politician. He's going to have a good idea. He's going to have solutions for the problem. And certainly they're going to be viable under the Constitution. Here, let's take a listen to his plan.
And if you're I support the Second Amendment. I don't know anybody that really doesn't. But are there limits to it? And the fact is, with somebody
and you're
who
saying
is
the
a
answer is
strong
yes.
Second Amendment, well, here's what I'm trying to say. Yes, Dana. Here's the answer is.
And staying true to form, like any politician, John supports the Second Amendment while at the same time realizing that he's against the Second Amendment, realizing that there are limits to the Second Amendment. So maybe what we need to do is we need to read the Second Amendment and see what it says real quick. You know, get an idea of what the limits are on the Second Amendment at Wikipedia. And let's see what the Second Amendment has to say. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to bear arms shall not be infringed. Sounds like John's a little off here. But see, here's the thing with people like John. John's not that upset about the school shooting. He didn't lose any sleep over the situation. People like John, when they see things like this, they say, never let a good crisis go to waste. And the first thing he does is he is out there pushing his political agenda, hoping to push his political career further. And the news media does the same exact thing as John's doing. The first thing they do is they find a story that shows him as being a white supremacist, a white separatist, a white nationalist, and they are more than happy to run with it. Now, it turns out it's a total troll, but of course, that would actually require doing real journalism work and not falling for an obvious troll, but that would not fit a narrative. So therefore, we have to push this story, irregardless of how false it is or how legitimate it is. Have you noticed how they haven't brought forth any real solutions? Have they suggested, ways that maybe we could teach teachers how to use a firearm? Are we going to talk about FBI reform? No. And why? Because that's the enforcement wing of the Democrat Party. Are we going to talk about how maybe we need to start looking seriously at the opioid crisis in this country, the mental health crisis in this country, and quite frankly, we're hitting crisis levels with our families and the major issue with single-parent households? You don't think that doesn't play a contributing factor in these kind of situations? We can be like Europe and we can ban guns, and then next thing you know, we're going to be dealing with trucks of peace. Or maybe we can be like South America, and many of the countries there have some of the strictest gun laws in the world, and yet they have some of the highest rates of violence. But I want to know what you guys think. Do we blame the FBI? Do we blame the guns themselves? How do we fix the problem? What are your ideas for solutions? And I want to thank everybody for listening, and a special thanks to Gwen, and be sure to hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.